Drug Testing is the 20th episode of the second season of The Office. This is directed by Greg Daniels, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. And I really don't know how I feel about this episode. I didn't hate it. I will say that straight away. I did not hate this episode. I kind of liked the story with Pam and Jim or what they were doing in the episode. But the main narrative I just found kind of boring, and I found Dwight really annoying. Usually I find Dwight annoying in a charming way. I really love the character. But in this one, that wasn't really the case. The main narrative focuses on the fact that Dwight found half a joint in the parking lot, so he's now wearing a sheriff's shirt, which I thought was a great idea. I love the costume. And is interrogating everybody to find out whose it was. And apparently he thinks it's definitely somebody there and not anybody else who could have been in the parking lot. I did like the interrogation scenes. I think I would have liked a little bit more of them. I would have liked to have seen him interrogating more people. I thought they were well done. And the way he said, "Have you ever pooped a balloon?" was very funny. I'm doing it no justice, but it's very entertaining. So those scenes I really did like, but the rest of it and how the story developed, I didn't care for. Michael thought he might have got high over the weekend because somebody's come in to do the drug testing and he needs Dwight's urine, which is an odd exchange, to be honest. And again, I didn't hate it. I just didn't necessarily find it to be that interesting. And ultimately what happens is Dwight gets to join security and he's quite happy. And I don't know, it just felt like everything fizzled out. So the first half of that part of the narrative was really good, but it just kind of went weaker as it went on. Pam and Jim is doing impressions of everybody. And honestly, again, I wish we'd got more out of that because at some point early on, Pam jinxes him. And when you jinx somebody, they're not allowed to talk. So Jim doesn't talk for the bulk of this episode. And that's a shame because I would have liked to have heard more of his impressions. And Pam tries to wind him up and try and make him talk. And it's creative. It's not too bad. And when she said to him, "You look like you have something really important to say and you just can't for some reason," I just thought, if only you knew what important thing Jim had to say that he just couldn't say. If only she knew. It was fine. It wasn't the most interesting, but I do like their interactions. I do like Pam and Jim. And I really hope for the best for both of the characters. But time will tell what happens with them. It's an okay episode. Personal highlights would have to be Jim's brief impressions, which we get for about 5 seconds, and Dwight, just the interrogations and saying, "Have you ever pooped a balloon?" which is, I enjoyed it. But the rest of it, the second half of the episode, just felt a little bit flat to me. I don't have any highlights from the second half. I didn't really care too much. So it's definitely not a personal favourite, needless to say. But Drug Testing wasn't too bad. I think if I were binge watching season 2, I wouldn't skip it. I don't dislike it that much, but it's definitely not an episode that I would choose to watch.